Welcome back to my channel. Today's story is not just a story, it's a mirror of real life. It's about a person who felt invisible, doubted himself every day, and stood at the edge of giving up. If you've ever questioned your journey, this story is for you. Rohit was an ordinary man living an ordinary life, but deep inside, he felt something was missing. He lived in a small rented room in a crowded city, where mornings began with alarm clocks and stress instead of excitement. He worked in a small office, doing the same tasks every day, watching the clock more than the screen. His salary paid the bills, but it never fulfilled his soul. Every evening, he returned home tired, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally exhausted. During lunch breaks, Rohit often scrolled through social media. He saw people his age celebrating promotions, starting businesses, traveling, and smiling confidently. Each post silently questioned his existence. He compared their highlights with his struggles and felt smaller every day. He never commented, never reacted, he just watched and wondered, why not me? At night, when the city noise slowly faded, Rohit's thoughts became louder. He dreamed of becoming someone better, someone respected, someone confident. He imagined a life where he woke up with purpose instead of pressure. But these dreams scared him. Dreams demanded effort, patience, and courage, things he felt he lacked. So he kept pushing them aside, telling himself that one day, when life became stable, he would start. That one day never came. One evening, after a long and humiliating day at work, Rohit returned home shattered. His manager had scolded him publicly for a small mistake, and no one stood up for him. He felt invisible. Sitting alone in his room, staring at the wall, he finally asked himself the question he had been avoiding for years: is this really the life I want to live forever? That night, instead of escaping into sleep, he stayed awake with his thoughts and made a quiet decision to try changing his life, even if it meant failing. The next morning, nothing magical happened. Rohit still woke up tired. But he chose to wake up 1 hour earlier. Not because he felt motivated, but because he felt desperate. He started using that 1 hour to learn, sometimes reading, sometimes watching videos, sometimes just thinking. After office hours, while others relaxed, Rohit continued learning. Many days he understood nothing. Many nights he felt stupid, slow, and too late. Still, he continued. People around him noticed the change and mocked him. They told him he was overworking, that life was meant to be enjoyed, not struggled with. Some even said, people like us don't change. Those words hurt, especially because part of him believed them. His mind constantly told him to quit, to return to comfort. But something inside him refused. He realized that staying the same had become more painful than trying something new. Months passed, and results were nowhere to be seen. There was no promotion, no appreciation, no visible success. Rohit questioned himself every day. He wondered if all his effort was meaningless. This was the hardest phase, the phase where progress was invisible. Most people quit here, not because they fail, but because they don't see results. Rohit felt like quitting too, but he reminded himself why he started. Slowly, subtle changes appeared. He started speaking more confidently. He stopped being afraid of responsibility. His thinking became clearer, and his reactions calmer. These changes were small and silent, but they were real. Even though no one praised him, he knew he was no longer the same person. One day, An unexpected opportunity came in the form of a difficult project. It was risky, stressful, and unpopular. Everyone avoided it because failure was visible. Rohit felt fear rising inside him, but he remembered all the nights he had spent preparing himself for moments like this. With shaking confidence, he accepted the challenge. The project tested him completely. Mistakes happened, pressure increased, and self-doubt returned stronger than ever. There were nights he couldn't sleep and mornings he wanted to give up. But this time, he didn't run. He learned from every mistake, asked for help when needed, and improved step by step. Slowly, things started working. The project was completed not perfectly, but successfully. For the first time in his career, Rohit was appreciated openly. His manager acknowledged his effort, and colleagues began seeing him differently. That moment didn't change his life overnight, but it changed something far more important, his belief in himself. From that point onward, opportunities followed. Rohit continued learning, continued improving, and continued moving forward. Life was still challenging, but now he was stronger. Years later, when he looked back, he realized he hadn't become extraordinary overnight, he had become extraordinary by not quitting when it mattered most. Rohit wasn't the richest or the most famous, but he was proud. Proud that he didn't surrender to fear. Proud that he trusted the process. Proud that he chose growth over comfort. He smiled, remembering the night he almost quit, and thanked himself for continuing. Life doesn't change suddenly. Growth is slow, silent, and often invisible. But when you stay consistent while no one is watching, one day your journey becomes your success story. Never quit just because progress is slow. You are still moving forward. Moral of the story: life doesn't change overnight. But if you stay consistent and don't quit on yourself, change becomes inevitable.